And welcome to week 3 of a year of wisdom. Come back to this channel each day for the reading of Job, Proverbs, and Ecclesiastes. Day 18. Job 23 and 24. Then Job responded, "Even today my complaint is rebellion. His hand is heavy despite my groaning. Oh, that I knew how to find him, that I might come to his home. I would present my case before him and fill my mouth with arguments. I would learn the words which he would answer and perceive what he would tell me. Would he contend with me by the greatness of his power? No, surely he would pay attention to me. There the upright would argue with him, and I would be free of my judge forever. Behold, I go forward, but he is not there, and backward, but I cannot perceive him. When he acts on the left, I cannot see him. He turns to the right, but I cannot see him. But he knows the way I take. When he has put me to the test, I will come out as gold. My foot has held on to his path. I have kept his way and not turned aside. I've not failed the command of his lips. I have treasured the words of his mouth more than my necessary food. But he is unique, and who can make him turn? Whatever his soul desires, he does it. For he carries out what is destined for me, and many such destinies are with him. Therefore, I would be terrified at his presence. When I consider this, I'm frightened of him. It is God who has made my heart faint, and the Almighty who has terrified me. But I am not destroyed by darkness, nor by deep gloom which covers me. Why are times not stored up by the Almighty? And why do these who know him not see his days? People remove landmarks. They seize and devour flocks. They drive away the donkeys of orphans. They seize the widow's ox as a pledge. They push the needy aside from the road. The poor of the land have to hide themselves together. Behold, like wild donkeys in the wilderness, they go out scavenging for food in their activity, as bread for their children in the desert. They harvest their feed in the field and glean the vineyard of the wicked. They spend the night naked without clothing and have no covering against the cold. They are wet from the mountain rains, and they hug the rock for lack of a shelter. Others snatch an orphan from the breast, and they seize it as a pledge against the poor. The poor move about naked without clothing, and they carry sheaves while going hungry. Within the walls, they produce oil. They tread wine presses, but go thirsty. From the city, people groan, and the souls of the wounded cry for help. Yet God does not pay attention to the offensiveness. Others have been with those who rebel against the light. They do not want to know its ways, nor stay in its paths. The murderer arises at dawn. He kills the poor and the needy, and at night he is like a thief. The eye of the adulterer watches for twilight, saying, "No eye will see me," and he disguises his face in the darkness. They dig into houses. They shut themselves up by day. They do not know the light. For the morning is the same to him as thick darkness. For he is familiar with the terrors of thick darkness. They are insignificant on the surface of the water. Their plot of land on the earth is cursed. They do not turn toward the vineyards. Dryness and heat snatch away the snow waters, as Sheol snatches those who have sinned. A mother will forget him. The maggot feeds sweetly until he is no longer remembered. And injustice will be broken like a tree. He wrongs the infertile woman and does no good for the widow, but he drags off the mighty by his power. He rises, but no one has assurance of life. He provides them with security, and they are supported. and his eyes are on their ways. They are exalted a little while, then they're gone. Moreover, they are brought low, and like everything, they are gathered up. Like the heads of grain, they wither. Now, if it is not sin, who can prove me a liar and make my speech worthless? Proverbs 18. One who separates himself seeks his own desire. He quarrels against all sound wisdom. A fool does not delight in understanding, but in revealing his own mind. When a wicked person comes, contempt also comes, and with dishonor comes taunting. The words of a person's mouth are deep waters. The fountain of wisdom is a bubbling brook. To show partiality to the wicked is not good, nor to suppress the righteous in judgment. A fool's lips bring strife, and his mouth invites beatings. A fool's mouth is his ruin, and his lips are the snare of his soul. The words of a gossiper are like dainty morsels, and they go down into the innermost parts of the body. He also, who is lax in his work, is a brother to him who destroys. The name of the Lord is a strong tower. The righteous runs into it and is safe. A rich person's wealth is his strong city, and like a high wall in his own imagination. Before destruction, the heart of a person is haughty, but humility goes before honor. One who gives an answer before he hears, it's foolishness and shame to him. The spirit of a person can endure his sickness, but as for a broken spirit, who can endure it? The mind of the discerning acquires knowledge, and the ear of the wise seeks knowledge. A person's gift makes room for him and brings him before great people. The first to plead his case seems right, until another comes and examines him. The cast lot puts an end to quarrels and decides between the mighty ones. A brother who is offended is harder to be won than a strong city, and quarrels are like the bars of a citadel. With the fruit of a person's mouth, his stomach will be satisfied. He will be satisfied with the product of his lips. Death and life are in the power of the tongue, and those who love it will eat its fruit. He who finds a wife finds a good thing and obtains favor from the Lord. A good person utters pleadings, but a rich person answers defiantly. A person of too many friends comes to ruin, but there is a friend who sticks closer than a brother. And once again, thank you for being here, and don't forget to click the subscribe button and hit the bell. And don't forget to like it as well. And I'll see you tomorrow for another reading. Blessings.
I need a big pink neon sign to show me what to do. I thank you, Lord. It glorifies you when you're the only answer. I praise you, Lord, for holding what's too much for me. And I'm amazed by you, Lord, because nothing's too big and nothing's too small to lay at your feet. I want to thank you.